Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship at Stony Brook. We always acknowledge we are located on ancestral land of the Settlecott Nation. To all of you present here in our sanctuary and all attending online, we are one congregation, worshiping together, so let's all of us say hi to each other. The camera is right up there. Hi. My name is Laura Lesh, and I am truly honored to be serving as your worship associate for this special summer service, along with our musicians today, Dan Weymouth, Claudia Jacobs, Mike Hoffman, Linda Cortese, Rich Hall, and Bethany Riddle. So you know this is going to be a great day right there. And our tech team, Rob Hall and Greg Maggio, who didn't make the time cutoff for the written order of service, but I promise you he's here with us. As we welcome our new consulting minister to our congregation and our pulpit for the first time, the Reverend David Messner. Although usually our summer services are led by members of our congregation, we are delighted that Reverend Dave was able to begin his tenure with us this weekend, which fits so well into our theme for the summer, adapting to change. Indeed, I guess you could say he will be the backbone of our current efforts in adapting to change as we continue our search for a new settled minister, a new director of religious education, and a new office administrator. By way of introduction, I'm going to try to summarize for you his breathtaking resume in less than the hour that we have. So here are the highlights. Reverend Dave was born in Washington, D.C., and now lives in Woodlawn on the south side of Chicago with his wife and their dog, and they have two fabulous, adorable young children. Young adult children. My apologies. He is a born and bred Unitarian, a Christian humanist, and a Universalist. He earned his Ph.D. in Religion, Ethics, and Society from Emory University, a Master's in Divinity, Theology, and Ethics from the University of Chicago, an MBA in Strategy and Organizational Behavior from Yale, and a BA in Psychology from Reed College. Wow. His career began in public sector financial planning and management consulting, and his ministry began with training at the First Unitarian Church of Rochester and the University of Rochester Medical Center. He served as the interim minister at the Mainline Unitarian Church and then at the Unitarian Church in Charleston. He was the settled minister of the UU Church in Savannah for 7 years, and now he's the senior minister at the First Unitarian Church of Chicago. He also teaches and advises at the university level and serves the UUA and the UU Ministers Association in the area of ethics. He's a consultant for the Chicago Police Department and the Anti-Defamation League as well. Last year, he served as the consulting minister at the UU Church of Oklahoma City, where this weekend they are welcoming their new settled minister. In his spare time, what spare time? He's writing a book, he grows really hot peppers, and he photographs wild places. So maybe he'll be photographing us. So this is the start of a new beginning for us, a bridge from where we have been to where we are going, and we're going to celebrate today as we look forward to what promises to be a time of reflection, learning, growing, and preparing for what's coming next for us under his guidance during the coming worship year. I know you are all as excited as I am to have him here. A very special welcome goes to any of you who are here with us for the first time. We're so glad that you're here, and we look forward to getting to know you. If you would, just raise your hand so we can recognize you and greet you personally later. Oh, wonderful. Welcome. You're all invited to stay following the service for a special coffee hour and a light lunch, which we'll be setting up out there, so we can all greet Reverend Dave as well as our new visitors personally. For those of you online, if you sign off after the service and return to our website or to the newsfeed, you'll find the link to our virtual coffee hour, which we call our small group chats. Whether you're here or online, you'll find friendly folks who can answer any questions you might have about our congregation. At any time during the service, you're all invited to come forward and place a pebble into the bowl of water on the side table under the Joys and Sorrows board, right over there. This ritual symbolizes the expression of a joy, a concern, a promise, or a release, and sends ripples of your intentions out into the world, connecting your individual intention with the intentions of the whole community. Be sure to silence your cell phones now as we enter into the sacred space of worship with the sounding of our bell. That wasn't the bell.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Yeah. Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when the day is done. And this old world is a new world and a bold world for me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Stars when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. Are you guys feeling good? I'm feeling good. We're feeling good. We're feeling good. And hopeful we're feeling good. Hey.
Woo. Well, we can all go home now. No. Our flaming chalice is the symbol of Unitarian Universalism, the flame of our faith held in the cup of our covenant. The youth representative for our Board of Trustees, Gia Anderson, will come forward to light our chalice as I read these words by Mary Sheldon, titled Into Many Coming Years. For those online, you might want to light a chalice or a candle along with us here. We cannot know what all the year might bring, and would we heed the prophecy if we could? Bright flame, awake. Send forth your sharing light this year into the many that come. Show us the ways of love and help and care, of justice and mercy and equality. Illuminate unto the generations. Show to the world a beacon of safe harbor. Help us to find the kindred warmth within us and among us to make it so.
It's an honor to be in your pulpit this morning for the first time. You're an encouraging group. It's nice. 57 years of being a Unitarian. I say Unitarian because that's what it was like in my childhood. And I grew up in a congregation so much like this. It was in Maryland, but as I walk in here, it feels so familiar to me. The spirit of the fellowship, the spirit of collaboration, the spirit of making something special together. The spirit of you have 25, 35 musicians who create this on a Sunday morning. What a gift that is. You have people willing to set up chairs and break them down before and after every meeting. You have people, we had an idea. I was working with Marion, and we were trying to plan this weekend, and we said, well, we'll have a little, we called it whiny theology. And usually when I have some idea like that, like 6 people come, and I showed up, and the parking lot's full, and the table is groaning under the weight of all the delightful food. There's a wonderful energy here, a wonderful vibe. Church is mostly energy. And you'll forgive me, that church word is going to slip in a lot, not because I'm trying to change any frame or conception, just I'm 57 years old and words get deep in the grooves. But what we do in coming together in this place is mostly about energy, mostly about the heart, mostly about paying attention. Paying attention to what? It's the biggest choice we get in life. We don't control most of it. We control what we pay attention to, what we lift up, who we encourage, who we hand a microphone, who we say, please play for us, sing for us, who we encourage to come forward and be a part of things. These are the choices we get to make. And you, my friends, are the choosing people. You have chosen for more than half a century, much more than that. Is it 75 years? How far are we into this project? Yeah. 64. People have made choices before us. People are making choices right beside us right now, and the choices we make are for the next generation. This is how, as we gather today, I'm thinking about this year we have together. It's a gift, a time between times, where maybe we could feel a little freer about what we do, right? All bets are off. I don't know how things are supposed to work. If you tell it to me, I'm going to go along with it. That's the kind of beginner's mind, for my Buddhist friends in the room, the beginner's mind is a glorious thing, even 57 years into my project, and however many years into this project. Let's see afresh what's going on here that's worth nurturing for the next generation. Where do we redouble our bets? Is it the music? Is it nature? Is it the young people on the blue carpet? Are we going to need to buy a second blue carpet in the coming years? How much blue carpet is it going to take? I have predictions. I'm an optimist by nature. I can't help it. We're going to be buying carpets. We're going to be adding chairs. We're going to be sharing what you've created here with an ever-expanding circle of people. Because at this moment, there's a need in the world for what we have to offer. I ask you, and in preparation for the work we're going to do together, think, what is it that you have that is precious that someone else only dreams of? And then think, how will we invite them in? And then think, if they can't come here, how are we going to meet them where they are? Because in a world of too much hostility, too much isolation, and too much despair, we have the capacity to bring light, and we have the capacity to bring music, and we have the capacity to bring some affirmation and some encouragement to a world that needs it. So, my friends, welcome to the celebration of life. Welcome to this practice of lifting up that which is worthy. Welcome to the project of a great year ahead. And now, let us worship together.
Okay, folks, please rise in body or spirit and join in singing hymn number 361 in your gray hymnal, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. Let's show Reverend Dave how UUFSB can sing. And for those online, we hope you will sing along with us as well. We're going to do all 6 verses, and I want to hear it.
I have a reading for us today, a little story, I suppose, for all ages. I'm used to visiting congregations, you know, and they always say when you're a guest preacher, they say, well, we like the time for all ages, and I have emblazoned in my memory the showing up at congregations, and they give me a rocking chair and a rug, and I call the children forward, and there's no one under 75 in the congregation. And I lean over it's always a really capable Laura Leschnet, and I said, should I still do it? And she says, oh, yes. We love our stories here. That's the best part. So today I'm thinking a little bit, I'm in the mind, and this is what the sermon is going to pick up on, this theme of origin stories, where we come from, how we got here, and the way that it determines where we're going. So to kind of dislocate us a little bit, this is a Jicarilla Apache origin story that I borrow respectfully, and it was collected, it's in the University of Michigan collection, collected by a folklorist named Morris Opler. In the beginning there was nothing, no earth, no living beings. There was only darkness, water, and cyclone, the wind. There were no humans, but only the Haxan, the supernatural beings. They lived in the underworld where there was no light, and everything in this underworld existed in like a dreamlike state, and everything was spiritual and holy. One day, the most powerful of the Haxan made the first animal with 4 legs and a tail, made it out of clay. And at first he thought it looked peculiar, but when he asked it to walk and saw how gracefully it did so, he decided it was good. Knowing this one animal was lonely, he made many other kinds from the body of the first, plucking off bits of the clay. Next, he held out his hand and he caught a drop of rain. He mixed it with some earth to make mud, and he made a bird from the mud. He asked the bird to fly, and when it did, he liked it. But he decided the bird, too, would be lonely. So he grabbed it, gently, I assume, and whirled it rapidly clockwise. As the bird became dizzy, it saw images of other birds, and when it stopped whirling, there were indeed many new kinds of birds. To feed them, he threw seeds all over the ground. The Haxan continued to make more animals and birds who eventually all got together in sort of a union and came to him and asked for a companion. So the Haxan stood facing the east, the south, the west, and the north. He had the animals bring him all of the materials from across the land, and he traced an outline on the ground to be filled by what the animals brought. Turquoise became veins, red ochre became blood, coral became skin, rock became bones, abalone became the white of the eyes, and clay became the marrow. Grabbing a dark cloud, the creature had hair. The human they made was lying face down, and it began to rise as the birds all watched with excitement. They all wanted to see what happened next. A lot happened next. The story to be continued. Let us now turn in the spirit of meditation to a different kind of text I bring you in the mind of this beautiful land we stand on here. This is from the poet farmer Wendell Berry. Do we have Wendell Berry fans in the room? Yeah. I'll call out in our time together, and sometimes I'll be preaching to you remotely, so that's going to be like an adventure for all of us. But I'll try and call out the sources, because some of what makes us special, and there's a lot that makes us special, is our willingness to draw from different sources. Some of that story is about going to the edges of the earth, and the different pieces come together, and they make an unexpected whole. And this is something that I love about our tradition. The pluralism, not of only who we are, but of that which we draw upon. So you'll hear me, in an annoying way, often just trying to lift up and pay attention to the sources that are being woven in to our space. Whether it's an Apache folk tune, whether it's Nina Simone's voice, whether it's Wendell Berry, whether it's a Buddhist concept. As these things come together, we realize we're making an unexpected whole. This is from the Sabbath poems. These are Sabbath poems 9 and 10 from the late 1970s. Enclosing the field within bounds sets it apart from the boundless of which it was and is a part, and places it within care. The bounds of the field bind the mind to it. A bride adorned, The field now wears the green veil of a season's abounding. Open the gate. Open it wide, that time and hunger may come in. Whatever is foreseen in joy must be lived out from day to day. Vision held open in the dark by our 10,000 days of work. Harvest will fill the barn, for that hand must ache, the face must sweat. And yet no leaf or grain is filled by work of ours. The field is tilled and left to grace, that we may reap. Great work is done while we're asleep. When we work well, a Sabbath mood rests on our day and finds it good. Let us take the abundance of grace, the freedom of time and space, to take a minute together, to breathe, to pray, to settle ourselves into this place and state of grace.
Each week, we take a collection which we share with a local organization doing the work of creating justice in the world. During the summers, we focus on food insecurity, and our Share the Plate recipient for the month of August is Island Harvest, Long Island's largest food relief organization. The volunteers and staff of Island Harvest deliver millions of pounds of food to a network of 570 pantries, soup kitchens, and other organizations offering services to those in need. In addition, 55 community gardens contribute fresh produce to their food supplies. They target at-risk populations with specific programs for children, veterans, and seniors. Right now, Island Harvest is facing the severe challenge of federal funding cuts, which have already impacted their distribution of food assistance, and even deeper cuts are coming. Your contribution will help Island Harvest continue to deliver essential food services across Long Island. So please, let's give as much as we can. And remember that the food you bring in, the non-perishable foods that you place in the bins right inside our doors in the lobby, will go to Island Harvest all year long. For those online, we need your donations too, as well, and the link to donate is in the comments now and on our website homepage. Thank you.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions. Rainbows have nothing to hide. So I've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, rainbow connection. Lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and be answered when wishing on the morning star? Someone thought of that, and someone believed it. Look where it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? What do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me, all of us under the spell. We know that it's probably magic. Have you been half asleep? Have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. Is this the sweet sound that called the young sailors? I think they're one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. La, 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 la.
That one makes me sentimental. We begin this church year and this project of ours together, considering how it is we develop as human beings, physical, spiritual, thinking, feeling beings. considering how it is not because of what is done to us or for us, but because of what we might create within ourselves and between us when we have faith, courage, and grit. Those were the theological virtues I was feeling appropriate to the day. They change. But today, let's begin flying the flag of faith, courage, and grit. This month of freedom and imagination is all about recognizing the nature of human creative power with which we have been endowed. Feeling powerful is a good place to start the work ahead of us. Feel powerful today. And here I'll lay a gospel truth on you. You are good, and you are powerful beyond what you might have been told elsewhere. It is likely that it was not revealed to you, your goodness and your power, by others in the variety of the institutions you have navigated to come to this place. So let this be the house that says it loudly and frequently. This is the upshot of my sermon, so those of you who would like to get your coffee now, kind of take the grist. I learned very early on, he said a lot of beautiful words. That was really interesting, but what did he mean? What was the point? And so now I don't hide it anymore, as if the point has to be translated, interpreted, and argued over by scholars and rabbis. That's the point. You're pretty good. You're more powerful than you think. And when you get together, you're extraordinary. Let us give thanks for that. Okay. The question I have for today is, where does that come from? How did we get to be good and powerful? And how do we pass it on? So let me get back to this idea of origin stories in a more personal way, and I'll ask you this question. Did you ever query your parents as to where you came from, how you were created? There's some parents in the room. Have you ever been asked, where did I come from? How was I created? You might be here with your parent now. If you are, lean over. You can ask them now. There is, we know, because of our legacy here in this place, there is a deeply technical explanation, or I should say crisply technical and accurate description of how we got here. This is, of course, our All Whole Lives program. And the sermon here could be a mini owl. Some of us can use a refresher from time to time. Opportunity to give a little clinical briefing, appropriate warnings, appropriate operational guidance. This is our pragmatic, rationalist approach. It has its place. It's not what I'm doing today, because I'm talking a little bit about a spiritual project, which is not an operating manual project. There is also an evasive and more poetic answer. I don't know, there was a stork, a large bird of some kind, and they dropped you right here out of the sky. From the time she was about 4 years old, my daughter was born in Japan. We lived there for a bit. And I would tell her from the time she was 4 that she came, we found her as a pine cone in a Japanese forest. I say these things and my wife looks shocked, because we hadn't discussed how we would tell her origin story. But I've been telling this pine cone story now for 20 straight years to her, and she humors me. There's a romance novel version. 2 people fell in love. There's some truth in that sometimes. But there's also a more sweeping and open-ended metaphysical version that were created out of the forces of 1,000 ancestral generations, colliding with the sacred hopes of 2 people in one moment in time to make a family, to be part of a lifetime exercise of co-creation. You could say, when you're asked that question, that you are the product of all that has come before, the magnificent conclusion, or at least step, in an epic biological struggle bathed in infinite grace. You could say to that child, Lord help them, you are still being created, and you are your own creator in the most important respects. You are the creator. In lifting this up, I mean to emphasize that we have some choices in which stories we tell. That is incredibly powerful. The choice of narrative makes all the difference. And I'm here to say we should have some freedom to take on new narratives and to let old ones go. We should have some freedom to take on 3 stories at once and hold them, because we're the people who can hold complexity. We should have the freedom to tell stories that are deeply clinically pragmatic at times, deeply rational, based on peer-reviewed publications, and we should have the power to use poetry. And we should have the power to tell stories that don't even have words. Are there stories without words? I think there are. The value of a story is, in part at least, its usefulness. And these different kinds of stories, these different ways of telling the who we are and where we came from, have different purposes and different power in different times of our lives. The value of a story is also the way it influences the choices we make going forward, more than the lens we choose to glance backward. Let's use the stories that are generative, constructive, and powerful, because our work isn't primarily nostalgic in character. Our work is primarily generative, constructive. We have, I will say it again, things the world needs. And by grace, serendipity, and hard work, we have come together, a few hundred of us, in this time and space to do this work that no one else can. I'm blown away by that, and I feel so grateful for it. And I don't totally understand what I did to earn it. The answer is, I'm not sure I did earn it. But I'm not sure it came by magic either. That's the tension I'm holding here. We are, if you haven't gotten this idea, the people of the polarities, the contradictions, and the paradoxes. And we're able to hold those in a way that it creates generative tension. We're able to move between the journal article and the poem. We're able to move between the cold, hard facts and the moral imagination. We're able to move between the notes and the poems fluidly and let them be informed by each other. And this is what I want us to do as we think about the good things in our life. Knowing where the good stuff we have came from is important because we're engaged in the project of making more of it. I think that's our assignment here. Now, every culture, and when I say culture, we think things like we had an Apache story this morning. I'll talk about that in a minute. We have stories of our tradition. I'll say a word about that. But we have incredibly local stories we tell that teach us where the good comes from. And as a newcomer, I'm starting to hear the flow of the stories. How did we get here? How do we have all this land around us? What's with the unicorn? Newcomers have questions, do we not? Questions are an enormous gift. I want to lay that on you right now. The greatest gift you can give someone, wait for it, is not your opinion. Now, no, I'm not saying you're opinionated people. I'm saying I visited other churches, and I found that our people are rich in opinion. And the pivot from offering opinions, and I'm in that camp, born and bred in this Unitarian thing, and I always thought, oh, my opinion is the greatest gift I could give. I appreciate that resume walk. That was great. Starting out as a management consultant, you're like, well, the opinion is the thing I'm selling. I better give them a lot of it. And I had that in mind here. And the transition to ministry is maybe the greatest gift isn't your opinion, or maybe there's time for that later. The greatest first gift you give someone is curiosity and the question, tell me the story. Tell me the story. So I'm going to ask a lot. Tell me the story of how you got here. Tell me the story of how you found your vocation. Tell me the story of how you chose to create a family. Tell me a story about when your life changed all of a sudden. Tell me a story about how your life is changing right now. How many of us are in moments of shift right now? And it gives us the opportunity to be a little bit nervous about the things maybe that are going away or becoming different, and gives us the opportunity to get a little bit excited about what we're going to craft in this next chapter. How many of us here today are beginning a new chapter? Right? Who among us is not? That's breathtaking. It's a breathtaking opportunity to think about the origin, the gods under the earth, creating the creatures. That's us. Spiritual beings creating things out of the pieces we grab. There's so many things I love in that Apache story we did this morning. I love that there's a way in which it starts with a clean slate and everything is possible. And on some days I wake up and I just remind myself that the slate is clean. The day is new. And I don't have to be beholden, to paraphrase one of our great Unitarians, to yesterday's nonsense. I can choose not to let it follow me into today. I can do something wholly new. I've been in this pulpit 700 times. Is that possible? 750 times since I became a minister. I'm not bound by the last 749 times with what I create here today. I might be good today. It's possible. Today might be the day. It's my breakout moment. That's this power of the origin stories that say from out of nothing this extraordinary thing came, because I wanted to give us the commission to break free of old things that no longer serve us. When I teach a membership class, I hope I get to do that here. I'll have to do it for the members, but I say one of the wonderful things about crossing the threshold of this place is not that we're going to cleanse you of sin or disabuse you of the notions you had before, but we're going to invite you to drop baggage. Use that in the vernacular sense, right? Are there things that don't serve you, that you're tired of carrying? We have a bin outside. Go ahead, put it in the recycling bin, right? Maybe someone else can use it. I hope you'll find some things here that you can pick up and add to your backpack. I guess we've done this literally with kids in the coming of age and sort of thing. We talk about the backpack. What's in your spiritual backpack? There's a place you can add some things to it. It's okay. Create yourself anew. It's your project. You are the all-powerful Haxon, right? Choosing the pieces, only the best pieces, the coral and the ochre, and bring those things together. This is a whole new chapter, and that's extraordinary. I like to, while there's a glory in things coming out of nothing, I like to recognize in the story the way that things have a precedent. Very little drops from the sky. We tend not to be the people who pray to the sky that good things may fall upon us. We tend not to be the people preaching manna from heaven. If you just pray hard enough, pray harder. We tend to be the people who look at one another and say, well, we could make bread. I love that about us, that we know, one, of our own, something about our own efficacy, but also that things come from earlier things. That the capacity for me to stand in this pulpit is because there have been generations of ministers standing here before me. There have been generations of you sitting in the pews, figuratively. The figurative pew beneath you. There have been generations who invested in this place and built this place. And so while I want us to feel flush with the power of creating something from nothing, I want to feel anchored by the gratitude of knowing that what we build because we stand on the shoulders of others. Because we've been given a legacy. People left us stuff, handed us the gifts. Some of the people who handed us the gifts, I don't mean to suggest they're all gone. Some of them are sitting right next to us. They're inviting us in and letting us take part in something they've already created. That's how I feel this weekend. You made something, and you invited me into your house to share a meal, to share stories, and to share a life ahead of us together. And so I want to hold these two stories. Things come as if from out of nowhere in miraculous ways. Let me be a voice for magical thinking on occasion. I don't know how I got blessed by being married to my wife. I don't understand that on some days. And while I technically understand where the children came from, I look at my 21-year-old who's 6'3", and my 24-year-old, and they're both extraordinary. And I don't understand where that came from, because I didn't do that. So there's something miraculous. That's what I want to say to you. Hold the miraculous right alongside the rational. Hold the, it came from hard work, to it came from mystery and wonder and a gracious universe surrounding me. I want to hold both those feelings because we're going to need both of those. As I was writing the sermon, it struck me, for those of you who are my Hebrew Bible people and have read Genesis, one of the extraordinary things about Genesis is that it starts with a creation story, and then it immediately tells a different creation story, and it doesn't explain how the two of them relate, and it just moves on, which is actually good. I do that a lot in a sermon. It was like, well, okay, there's another page, and you just keep going. You just keep going, and I imagine some ancient scribe, just keep going. And I'm not making fun. The point was there were two different stories. They had, our community back then, back in the day, had two different stories, and each one was powerful and worthy. And so they put the stories in the book. They put both books in the library, right? And they continue to tell both stories because there are different ways to look at things and understand things. So that spirit of holding multiple narratives that don't easily mesh, but each one doing a generative kind of work and letting us either feel free. We come from nothing. There's nothing behind us. We're on our own. There's no one here to tell us what to do. We can run wild. I want to feel that abandoned. But I also want us to know that, don't worry, we're the product of hundreds of generations. I want you to feel that the ancestors are present with you today. I am my father's son. I am my mother's son. I am the child of as many generations as I can count. Anyone on Ancestry.com? It's a passion to start to learn the stories of the people I came from. That changes everything. And I realize I don't have to create an entire world. I have to play my part as a link in the chain of goodness. That what I have received that was beautiful and good and life-giving is passed on, not only generationally, but as I say, side by side to my neighbor. That's why I so often will invoke from this pulpit and the time we have together the sense of tradition and that which has gone before. Not that we be held captive to it. No, we are not captive to it. But that we are enlivened by it. That we realize we have received some tools from our people. And they're rooting for us to build something extraordinary with the tools they left. Or our neighbor, the tools they loaned us. And that here today, we be filled with a sense of gratitude for what we've received that we can't explain. Be filled with a sense of awe for the pieces we can explain because we know what people did. Do you know what your grandparents did? How many people know what they did for a living? Where they came from? How you got to the middle of Long Island, right? One of my grandparents came through Ellis Island, right? Do you know that? Some of you have an Ellis Island thing. You know. I can trace where they were. They went to New Jersey. Some came to Long Island. Goes on and on. Understand the lineage. We didn't drop from the sky. We came from as part of a story, a continuing story and a continuing chain of people who are acting in love, blessed by the grace that surrounds them, and empowered by that courage and grit and audacity I was talking about. And so as we think about our origins, let us look to our future. Let us give thanks for all that has been built here. And that giving thanks might be a reflective thanks because you might have been here for the past 50 years building it. For those of us who walked in today or 2 weeks ago, last week, it's about saying thank you to the people in this room. Thank you for having us. And then let's roll up our sleeves and get to work, because we're going to build something extraordinary and new together. May it be so, and amen. Now, rise in body or in spirit. Let's sing our closing hymn together, Wo Ya Ya. It's in your teal hymnal. It's number 1020? 1020. Wo Ya Ya.
Please be seated. For our closing words, please join me in a responsive reading called Together in Sacred Space by Lorelei Greenwood Jones. It's printed in your order of service, and for those online, it will appear on your screen. I will say the words in regular type and ask that you reply with the words in bold italic type. In this sacred space, we need not be alone. We seek a listening ear, a warm heart, helping open arms.
In this sacred space, we join together against the waves of negativity and oppression in our world.
We are a community of individual beings living our own lives, yet coming together now and then in joyous celebration of spirit and one another.
Our differences do not divide us. Rather, they are a source of interest and discovery. We need not think alike to love alike.
Here, joys are shared and sorrows comforted. We are seen and heard and believed.
My compassion overflows. Our hearts search for others.
We are a gathering of like-hearted people, and here our hearts are filled. We hear the wisdom and counsel of our ministers and one another.
We have much to learn from each other. So many different colors of truth and ways and methods.
In this sacred space, may we find what our spirits desire and what our spirits need. May we be grounded in love and sharing.
In this sacred place, may we find acceptance and consideration. May our actions and words echo what we learn here.
It's okay. Just go.
Service comes to an end. Let's all wave and say goodbye to the folks online. Bye.
Part of my job is to disrupt. I'm going to disrupt. I'm going to invite you to rise again in body or in spirit. I'm going to invite you to take a hand of a person next to you if you like the look of that hand. If not, move slowly away from them. Just for a closing word together. As you go from this place, don't go far. As you go from this place, may you be blessed. May you be blessed with hands that know how to comfort, hands that know how to reach out, hands that know how to do the work of the day that needs doing. May you be blessed with spirits that feel free, unconstrained, vast, and audacious. And most of all, as you go from this place, may you be blessed with hearts that know how to love, without condition, without calculation, and without fear. Go in peace, my friends. Amen.
Guitar. Have to live, and I want to give. I'm completely positive. I think this time around I'm gonna do it like you never knew it. Oh, I'll have it through. The time has come for me to break out of this shell. I have to shout that I'm coming out. Come on, I'm coming out. I want the world to know. I've got to let it show. Show the world all that I want to be and all my abilities. So much more to me. Somehow I'll have to make them just understand I got it well in hand. You know how I have plans. I'm spreading love, there is no need to fear. And I feel so good every time I hear, oh, I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Got to let it show. Oh, I'm coming out. I want the world to know. I've got to let it show. Yeah, I'm coming out. I want the world to know. I've got to let it show. I'm coming out. I'm coming out. you hear that great guitar? I'm coming out. I want the world to know. I'm gonna let it show. I'm coming out. I'm coming out. I want the world to know. I'm gonna let it show. I see it. I'm coming out. I got you. I want the world to know. I'm gonna let it show.